Transforming team performance through servant leadership. How high-performing teams are built by changing how leaders think, communicate, and act. Every leader says they want a high-performing team. Far fewer are willing to examine how their own behavior may be limiting that outcome. In studying teams that consistently improve, as well as those that don't, 4 leadership qualities repeatedly separate performance from potential: honesty, integrity, discipline, and work ethic. Not as ideals, but as daily behaviors. So let's look at how these qualities actually influence results. First is honesty. Transformational leadership begins with truth, especially self-truth. Effective leaders develop the habit of honestly assessing their own decisions, reactions, and results. They don't externalize outcomes, they ask, what did I contribute to this result, and what can I improve? That self-honesty changes how teams experience leadership. When leaders are consistently truthful about performance, expectations, and outcomes, trust forms. Team members don't fear feedback. They welcome the clarity, and over time that clarity becomes a competitive advantage. Second, integrity. Integrity shows up less in speeches and more in consistency. High-performing teams respond to leaders whose planning, actions, and communications align. When leaders support both the goals of the team and the aspirations of the individuals, responsibility becomes shared rather than enforced. Integrity builds credibility. Credibility creates willingness, and willingness drives performance. Third, discipline. Discipline is not intensity. It is consistency. The most effective leaders design environments where doing the right thing becomes instinctive. That requires practice, repetition, and standards that mirror real-world situations and pressure. Discipline means choosing correct action even when it's uncomfortable and resisting easy action when it's wrong. Championship teams are rarely more talented. They are more disciplined in preparation and execution. Teams never perform better than they practice. Fourth, work ethic. Insight without action changes nothing. Transformational leaders model learning, improvement, and execution. They do the work required to turn knowledge into performance. Research is followed by action. Feedback leads to adjustment, and growth becomes continuous rather than occasional. As Vince Lombardi once said, success is never final. Teams are either improving or falling behind. In summary, sustainable performance improvement does not begin with tactics. It begins with leadership behavior. When leaders consistently operate with honesty, integrity, discipline, and work ethic, average teams become capable of superior results because their environment changes. And remember, education without action is just entertainment. This is Larry Bonerato. Have a productive day.